Welcome to the Trades Growth Summit. Now, it is not often that one gets to introduce a true legend, a world-renowned thought leader, entrepreneur, and author, but thankfully, that's my privilege right now. So our speaker is even more than that. He's touched the lives of more business owners, managers, and entrepreneurs over the past 40 years throughout the world than any other individual. So his E-Myth books have been named by the Wall Street Journal as the single most influential business book of all time. His companies have coached, mentored, and trained more than 100,000 business clients in 145 countries. His books are among the top-selling books of all time on the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Business Week, Inc. magazine, and so many more. And it was, in fact, Inc. magazine that first called Michael E. Gerber the world's #1 small business guru. And it is his many evangelists and true believers throughout the world that simply call him the man. His mission is to transform the state of small businesses worldwide. So may I introduce you to the man, the true E-Myth master himself, the inventor of the iconic phrase, go to work on your business, not in your business. Michael E. Gerber, thank you so much for being a part of the Trades Growth Summit.
My absolute delight, Francis. Thank you.
So I'm going to get right into it and ask you one thing. So you are a creative through and through, but tell me, when's the last time you wrote a poem or played the sax?
Well, about the playing the sax, I haven't done that for several years. And the primary reason I haven't done that for several years is because the last time I picked my horn up, I realized how little I had played before that and how much it took for me to play it right. Mm-hmm. So the experience of playing it right is such an eloquently transformational experience that to do it wrong is devastating.
Yeah, I can understand that. The muscle memory, right?
The muscle memory was almost there, but not quite there. And because it's not quite there, it's like picking up a hammer and not having used a hammer for maybe 6 weeks. The muscle memory is there, but the hammer isn't. And so you understand the difference is huge. Yeah. So I stopped playing the horn. I've got it right over there in the closet. It's sitting there waiting for me to come back and visit it. And I'm sure glad you asked me that question because it raises the question. So where's my horn? Where's my horn? Where's my horn? I used to play it for years, and I practiced it for years, and the sound just came out. Mm-hmm. And the sound just came out. It just absolutely transformed my consciousness about the horn, about music, about playing, about creating, and doing what it is great creators do. So enough about my horn. As for writing, I write every single day.
Well, yeah, you have a good excuse. You've been pretty busy all these years, that's for sure. So your book was published, I believe, in 1986. And I want to ask you, we're going to get into the detail, the nitty gritty, right? But what motivated you to write it? And I'm curious to know what, if anything, has changed in the last 35 to 40 years that, is relevant. How has the world changed? And is your method or approach changed as well?
Well, let me say that the first book that I wrote was the E-Myth, mm-hmm. Why Most Businesses Don't Work and What to Do About It. The most significant book I wrote was the E-Myth Revisited, and that was published in 1994. So my first book was 1986. My second book was 1994. Mm-hmm. And the gap between 86 and 94 was the period in which time I was discovering the reason for transformation of small business worldwide, to the degree that we had learned something in the process of doing that, working with small businesses, starting out in 1977 with the founding of my first business development firm called the Michael Thomas Corporation. I was Michael, he was Thomas. Thomas is long gone. But the Michael Thomas Corporation was the first small business coaching firm. In short, we invented small business coaching. So the huge difference between then and now is you can look up small business coaching, look up the word coach, look up the word business development, which is what we were noted for, business development firm, and you'll see that it's just populated with thousands upon tens of thousands of individuals who do, in quotes, that work. Mm-hmm. We were the creators of that work. So when we speak to small businesses, trade businesses in the UK, or in Italy, where you are right now, or in wherever on the planet, you have to understand that we have an intimate relationship with trade companies, what I call technicians, doing it, busy, 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 in every vertical market on the planet. So, for example, we have since published the E-Myth HVAC contractor.
Yeah.
We published the E-Myth chiropractor. We published the E-Myth real estate agent. We published the E-Myth optometrist. We professionals, trade companies, you might say, professional trades and unprofessional trades. We have worked with every kind of company on the planet, applying this thought process that literally has transformed millions who have read my books, millions who have done the work that I have laid out for them to do, that we'll be talking about more thoroughly here as we go deeper into it. The practice of performance, to a degree, one can grow an enterprise from a company of one, doing it, to a company of 1,000 where it's doing it without me doing it, to transform the reality of what we do and how we do it. That's been our mission for now close to half a century. And in the process of doing that, we have written about it, we have sung about it, we have talked about it, we have trained about it, we have mentored about it, we have led about it, we have managed about it, we have done just about everything and anything one can think of in the process of approaching the subject of a trade, of a business, of an operating system, to the degree that we're able to comfortably and enthusiastically inspire every single person who's listening to us right now to say, what you believe to be true about what you do is completely untrue. And in fact, I'm going to show you how you can approach it in a distinctly, uniquely transformational way to blow it out of the park, to grow it 1,000 times its current size. No matter what you think you know, no matter what you think you do, no matter who you think you are, no matter what you believe to be true about your trade, I'm telling you, you haven't even begun to deal with the subject the way we're going to be discussing it here.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Now, just to elaborate on that, we work with small businesses, family businesses, and a lot of the time, it seems like they don't necessarily think big enough, right? In terms of the possibilities of what can be, right? And you talk about vision and mission. And some of the trades businesses that I've come across, especially in the UK, that perhaps don't have as much access to knowledge or haven't sought it out, they are, when you ask them, well, how big do you want to grow? They say, oh, no, well, I'm pretty happy where I am right now.
And of course they do. Of course they do.
How can we start, firstly, to reset their ambition, their mission, their vision, first and foremost, which is the first step in the system?
Well, it's very, very simple. You have to learn to tell them the story. Understand that the heart of this inspiration is always a great story. The greatest story on the planet for any trade on the planet is the story that I love and have told for half a century. It's the story of McDonald's and Ray Kroc. So you got to understand, Ray Kroc was 52 years old when he started McDonald's. He was 52 freaking years old when he started McDonald's. And he didn't even create McDonald's, he found McDonald's. The McDonald brothers created McDonald's. Ray Kroc was a peddler of malted milk machines. You might say his trade was selling malted milk machines. And the McDonald brothers bought a lot of them. And Ray Kroc was sitting there saying, what are they doing with these machines? Nobody buys a lot of them. So he went to visit McDonald's in San Bernardino, California, and he didn't go into McDonald's. He stood outside of McDonald's, and simply watched as lines of people lined up to come buy the packages that they walked out with. And it was just astonishing to him that so many customers were lined up at the doors of this place, not the doors, the windows of this place. So he finally walked into McDonald's to find out, so tell me about what you do and tell me about how you got to do it and tell me about what you intend to do with it. And they began to tell him the story of McDonald's. And the McDonald brothers lived in a house just above that store. They could look down on their store from the house above. And when Ray Kroc asked them, have you ever thought of franchising McDonald's? They said, oh yeah, we thought of it and we did it, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work. No, we have to be here in order for it to work. So Ray Kroc convinced them to give him the franchise rights to McDonald's. And they did. And he went back to Des Plaines, Illinois, where he lived, to open up his first store. And that first store was called his franchise prototype. Now get this, Ray Kroc didn't work in the store. Ray Kroc didn't have an office in the store. The McDonald's manager had an office in the store. Ray Kroc's office was down the street at the McDonald's corporate office, which comprised Ray Kroc and somebody else. Hear me, Ray Kroc and somebody else, just the corporate office. So he would leave the corporate office to go visit the store and leave the store to go back to the corporate office. But it was from the corporate office that Ray Kroc started to work on the systems of the store to get the franchise prototype right. So I want every single one of you to listen to me. Every single one of you trade guys to listen to me. I want you to see your office down the street. Your corporate office, Trade is Me, down there, down the street, could even be right next door. And your operating office right there in your local store, which is going to be your franchise prototype. Now, you might say to me, yeah, but I don't want to franchise my business. Don't worry about that. Every great growing company has built that great growing company by designing, building, launching, and growing a franchise prototype called This Is How We Do It Here. This is how we do it here. This is how we do it here. Write that down in your brain of brains. This is how we do it here. It's the system, stupid. It's the system at the heart of McDonald's. Now get this. From that one store, Ray Kroc, from the age of 52, has built over 40,000 stores, opening up hundreds every year throughout the world. Over 600 McDonald's in China last year. Think about that. How in the hell did he do that? That's the secret underlying what I call the E-Myth. The E-Myth Revisited, why most small businesses don't work and what to do about it and how to transform yours.
And isn't there another myth, though, that sometimes small businesses believe, and that is that they don't want to grow that big, or I don't want 40,000 franchises, and maybe
But of
they.
course he doesn't. But of course he doesn't. Of course he doesn't want 40,000, and he's not going to have 40,000. He doesn't want it because he's never even imagined himself to be that person who could do that. Because he isn't the person who could do that. Because he doesn't know what it takes to be the person to do that. So something has to happen inside of every single one of these folks you speak to that suddenly tells them there's a world you haven't seen yet. So the first job is to get you to see it as you are, not as you're going to be, but to get you to see it. So, Francis, what you got to do is you've got to invite every single person who's listening to us right now to join us in what I call the new dreaming room. Just write this down, Francis, thenewdreamingroom.com. We got to invite every single individual who's listening to us right now to join us in the new dreaming room. Okay. And in the new dreaming room, we're going to give them a taste of what it feels like to awaken the new entrepreneur within them, to awaken the growth within them, to awaken the dream, the vision, the purpose, the mission within them, to give them a feeling that they've never had before. And as that feeling occurs within them, their shift of their mindset, the shift of their desire, the shift of what they wish to become, of what they wish to create, of what's possible for them will suddenly appear. Until that appears, ain't going to happen. Once that appears, they're then open to the story of what I call the eightfold path. And the eightfold path is the absolutely sinecure process for designing, building, launching, and growing a great growing enterprise, at the heart of which is your dream, your vision, your purpose, and your mission. So the dreaming room establishes the platform for growth. Until you establish a platform for growth, you don't have the stimulation for pursuing growth. Because right now, growth simply sounds like a lot of work to do, a lot of work to do. And my God, I'm already working 47 hours a day. I can't possibly work more. So why in the world would I want to be bigger if I can't even do what I'm doing today successfully? You get it?
Absolutely. And thank you for sharing that. We're going to put the link to that next to this video as well, because I think, this is the whole point of this whole initiative, is we want to help open up people's eyes, first and foremost, to new realities, new worlds, right? And
we will give every single person who's listening to us right now the gift of that first special event in the dreaming room, in which they begin to understand the dreamer, the thinker, the storyteller, and the leader, the difference between a great entrepreneur and a technician suffering from an entrepreneurial seizure, the difference between a guy who wishes to grow, a woman who wishes to grow, and somebody who's afraid to grow, who's terrified of adding more work to the work they've already got. We've got to change the way they think. We're going to give them the gift of a new way to think. And then we'll awaken that entrepreneur within. And the best news of all is, and then we'll provide them with a path to step 1, step 2, step 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, for every single one of them to grow from the company they are to the company they haven't even imagined yet they're going to be. It's our gift.
Where do I sign up? I think I'm going to join the new dreaming room as well.
But of course you're going to. You got to.
So you'll see me there. I'm glad we got to talk about that, because that was actually on my list, because I found that really, just a fascinating part of your ecosystem of business transformation as well. And it's so relevant because, some people, they know what they want, they just don't know how to get there. But what I see, my assessment is that in our trades industry in the UK, there's just a lot of people who don't know that it's even a possibility, that it even exists.
That's the important thing. It's the important thing. When you say they know what they want, the truth is they don't know what they want. The truth is they have no idea what they want. And so understand, we speak about that state of mind as a blank piece of paper in beginner's mind. So what we want to do is open the eyes of every single one of these traders, every single one of these folks who are doing it, busy, knocking their brains out every day. We want to open their eyes and mind and imagination to what it means to awaken the entrepreneur within. So Awakening the Entrepreneur Within is the name of another one of my books. Mm-hmm. Awakening the Entrepreneur Within, which speaks to the dreamer, the thinker, the storyteller, and the leader. And another of my books called Beyond the E-Myth, The Evolution of an Enterprise from a Company of One to a Company of 1,000, which too addresses this process that we're speaking about. As soon as we begin the process, Francis, of stimulating the imaginations of the folks who are listening to us, they'll begin to understand what's missing in their business, but more important, what's missing in their lives, and what, in fact, each of them can do in their lives to transform the state of their lives, to take them to places unimagined.
Totally, Michael. And I would also assess that many of our trades business owners, they almost wouldn't consider themselves an entrepreneur. They wouldn't, when you ask them, they wouldn't use that label. Now, I would disagree, because you are, the very fact that you had the courage to start your own business, you're an entrepreneur, whether you're still an infant in that journey.
But you understand, a plumber is a plumber, a framer is a framer, an electrician is an electrician, and on and on and on and on. I'm not an entrepreneur, I'm an electrician. I'm not an entrepreneur, I'm a plumber. I'm not an entrepreneur, I'm a framer. I'm not an entrepreneur, I'm a home builder. I'm not an entrepreneur, I'm a carpenter. I'm not an entrepreneur, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm a house painter. Essentially, they identify with the work they know how to do. They identify with the work they know how to do. What they don't identify with is the business of the work they're doing in their business. So we've got to shift their attention to see that they are going to be known for their ability to grow. And as they become known for their ability to grow, they're going to become identified with their ability to grow, because as they have and possess the ability to grow, they possess the ability to transform the lives of countless people in their community. The contribution they begin to make to their families, to their communities, to their friends, et cetera, and so forth, goes so far beyond anything they ever imagined they could do, as to awaken this stimulation for imagination to agree just never was there before. And as that happens, and it will happen, Francis, you'll begin to see it. You begin to see it in yourself. You begin to see it in everybody that you coach, everybody that you mentor, everybody that you work with, all of your clients. You begin to see it in them. And as you begin to see it in them, you begin to see that you have an opportunity to transform the economic reality of the world, to transform the economic reality of the UK, to transform the economic reality worldwide. That's what you get to do the minute you begin to think about your dream, your vision, your purpose, and your mission.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I find that very profound. I can't help by also feeling emotional, considering it as well, because these are not small things. These are not small concepts.
It's the biggest of all. It's the biggest of all. And hear me, Francis, as you begin to experience the size of it, the grand gesture of it, what happens inside of you is you begin to identify with that. And you begin to say, you mean I can do that? You mean I can do that? And as you begin to understand that, yes, I can do that, begin to look at all of the people that you're going to have this impact on, Francis. And you begin to say, and I can help him do that, and I can help her do that, and I can help them do that, and I can help their families do that. And if I can help them to do that, my God, there's no limit to what we all can do. And the truth is, there is no limit to what we all can do. If Ray Kroc could create over 40,000 McDonald's hamburger stands, why not you? You get it?
I get it. I absolutely do.
That's why we're here.
So I'd love maybe to talk about some tactics, some strategies as well. So the E-Myth really talks about a system and the different stages of life in the business, like from entrepreneurial infancy through to adolescence, growing pains, and then the maturity. So I guess it's so important to know where you are, right? First of all, how does a business determine what phase they're in?
Well, let me suggest a completely new way to think about the stages of growth.
Okay.
And in my latest book called Beyond the E-Myth, The Evolution of an Enterprise, from a company of one to a company of 1,000, I define and describe those stages. And now I've called it here the eightfold path. The first step on the eightfold path is I have a dream. An entrepreneur is four very distinct persons. An entrepreneur is a dreamer, a thinker, a storyteller, and a leader. The dreamer has a dream, the thinker has a vision, the storyteller has a purpose, and the leader has a mission. Now, I said to you earlier that I'm going to give as a gift the first of 4 meetings to every single one of the people listening to us right now in what I call the new dreaming room. And the intent of the new dreaming room is to awaken the new entrepreneur within everyone who joins us in it. In the first session, I describe those 4 personalities: the dreamer, the thinker, the storyteller, the leader. The dreamer has a dream, the thinker has a vision, the storyteller has a purpose, the leader has a mission. And I describe what the dream, the vision, the purpose, and the mission are intended to accomplish. So understand those are the first 4 steps of the eightfold path. The 5th step, once I know what my dream is, what my vision is, what my purpose is, what my mission is, once I have a picture of the great result I'm here to produce, then the next step is called the job. And the job is your client fulfillment system. So now we've got a dream, a vision, a purpose, and a mission. We're going to go to work on this company of one, just like every brand new trade company starts, this company of one in which I'm doing it. And I'm going to go to work on the job called on the client fulfillment system. And that's how we do what we do. The product, the service we're here to sell. To turnkey the product or service we're here to sell. This is how we frame a house. This is how we plumb a house. This is how we paint a house. You follow me, you follow me, you follow me. This is how we do it here. So the job gets done, and now we've got a turnkey system, and it's written down. And it's written down so I can turn to you and say, now this is how you'll do it here. Or I can turn to John and I can say, no, John, this is how you'll do it here. And I can turn to Mary and say, Mary, this is how you'll do it here. Because I've defined exactly the way we paint the house here. You follow me?
I do.
The next step is called the practice. So now we've gone to work on the job to invent the system by which we do the work we do here. And now we're going to create the practice, and the practice is the way in which we attract customers to buy what it is we do here by creating a lead generation system and a lead conversion system. This is how we attract them. This is how we convert them. And this is how we fulfill them. Lead generation, lead conversion, client fulfillment, the three-legged stool of the turnkey franchise prototype for my company. Did you get that?
Got it.
The three-legged stool of the turnkey franchise prototype of my just about ready to grow business. I've now turnkeyed my practice. Now what I'm going to do is to go to work on my business to replicate my practice up to 7 times. So think of painter number 1, painter number 2, painter number 3, painter number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7. Painter 1 does it this way, painter 2 does it this way, painter 3 does it this way, painter 4, painter 5, painter 6, painter 7. Every single one of the painters in my painting company do my painting system exactly this way. This is how they generate a lead. This is how they convert a lead. This is how they deliver the result. Mm-hmm. You got it. And so now we've created a business coupled with a turnkey management system. Oh my God, we're growing 7 times. You get that?
Got it.
My franchise prototype, my franchise prototype, my franchise prototype, turnkey, the key ingredient to growth. And now we're going to go from a business to an enterprise. What's an enterprise? An enterprise is nothing other than up to 7 turnkey businesses. Now, what's a turnkey business? It's up to 7 turnkey practices. You follow me? My painting business, my plumbing business, my electrician business, blah, 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 blah. My painter, my plumber, my electrician, up to 7 times. But in the enterprise, up to 49 practices.
Right.
7 businesses, 7 times 7, 49 practices creates my first enterprise with a leadership system. So I just walked you from the dream, the vision, the purpose, the mission, the job, the practice, the business, the enterprise. I just demonstrated to you the process, the 8-fold path process for turnkeying what we do, the way we do it, to grow it, to grow it, to grow it, to grow it massively, just like Ray Kroc did at McDonald's, just like Starbucks did, just like Apple did and does, and so forth, and so forth, and so forth, and so on. And that's the method to our madness. The beauty of this is, Francis, you could teach anybody to do this. The beauty of this is you can teach everybody to do this. The beauty of that is there is no more inhibition to growth because there's suddenly a magic formula for growth that every idiot can pursue beautifully, simply, perfectly, epigrammatically, in a way that makes it possible for great work to be done on the great earth of ours, on this great growing planet. And every single person in the UK can grow not only in the UK, but every place they wish to be. Are you ready for that?
I am. And I think I speak on behalf of everybody watching this, that they are. And if they're not, if they weren't before, they will be now.
They will be. They absolutely will be. As you tell the story, 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 and as you apply the methodology, they'll begin to see, oh my God, I can do this. Oh my God, I can do this. Oh my goodness, I've created my job. I've created my practice. I've created my business. I'm on the way to creating my enterprise. It's simply mathematics. Yeah. If I can paint a kitchen like this, everybody can paint a kitchen like this. And by painting a kitchen like this, that becomes our brand. Kitchen Painters Unanimous. That's the name of our brand. Kitchen Painters Unanimous. Plumbing personification persona unanimous. What can I tell you? Every single one of your companies can become branded to become the leader in what you do because you know how to do it, because you know how to do it, and because you can replicate how you do it again and again and again and again and again in every damn community you decide to be in.
I'd love to ask a question that I think some of our audience might be thinking, that perhaps their particular product or service is not necessarily replicable, or you
Bullshit.
have, yeah.
Please, bullshit.
Let me give you an example. For example, say you are, it's a different method if you're changing a heating system in a 7-bedroom house in the countryside versus a small flat in London, essentially. So how is it that you can document and systematize perhaps every eventuality, or eliminate thinking, right? Eliminate that.
Jeremy, we have documented every kind of business on the planet. We have now written 20 vertical market books: the E-Myth chiropractor, the E-Myth accountant, the E-Myth attorney, the E-Myth HVAC contractor, the E-Myth plumber, and the E-Myth home builder, on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And they were co-authored by individuals who have taken this strategy and this methodology and applied it successfully to their business. Not one of them believed it was possible to do what we set out to do. Not one of them believed it was possible to do. Every single one of them said, yes, but Michael, our business is different. Our business is different. And we proved to them that their business wasn't different, that all businesses on the face of this planet are identically the same. And the process that we're talking about is applicable directly and immediately to every single one of them. And we can prove it, we can prove it, we can prove it, we can prove it. All you got to do is join us in the dreaming room, and you'll begin to see it, you begin to taste it, you begin to smell it, you begin to feel it. And once you get there, the only thing left is, yes, but I'm afraid to. Yes, but I'm afraid to. Yes, but I'm afraid to. And that's the only reason you'll choose not to do it, because you're afraid you'll fail. Hear me. But what we say to everybody before we even start is get ready to fail, because you will fail. Stupid, you will fail. That's part of the process of growing, failing and breaking free of your failure and experiencing the leap of consciousness that it takes to grow beyond the ordinary. You get to do that. My God, you get to do that. And you get to turn around to your kids and say to your kids, and you get to do that, Johnny, and you get to do that, Millie, and you get to do that, Mary, and you get to do that, every single one of you. And that's why we're going to transform the state of consciousness of the world worldwide, because everybody's here to do that. What an astonishing, amazing thing to be able to learn how to do.
Wow. And, the place to get started in this journey with you, Michael, is the newdreamingroom.com. Is there anything that people need to do? Because we're going to point them there.
We'll send you the link, and all you got to do is just sign up. We'll send you the link, and all you got to do is sign up. Once you get done with the first day, if you like it, then you can complete it. And complete the dreaming room is a cost of $3,000. $3,000 US. To complete the dreaming room is $3,000. To get in the door is free.
Gotcha.
So you get to do the first meeting in which I'll raise your expectations beyond anything you can possibly imagine right now. And if for any reason whatsoever you say, yeah, but I don't want to do it, just don't do it. But understand what you're leaving behind. What you're leaving behind is the future. What you're leaving behind is the future. What you're leaving behind is the profound transformation that's waiting for every human being on the face of this earth.
Well, Michael, I'm certainly going to uh, educate and make our audience aware of, the different platforms that are on offer to open up their eyes and think differently.
And that's
And
wonderful. And Francis, what I'm going to invite you to do is to contact me outside of this meeting. And let's talk about a special way that you might do that to literally transform the state of small business nationwide, countrywide, in the UK, wherever you're doing business. And I'm going to demonstrate how you can become the leader in all this.
well, I'll take you up on that. This initiative is about the trades business owners, but on a personal note, my mission and one of the reasons that we've created this event, it started as an idea, right? Started as an idea, and it grew into something bigger and beyond our wildest dreams. And even we would have never imagined that I'd be talking to you right now about your book and about your programs and how you've changed the world, and you're inspiring me. And so just by having this conversation, it's manifested, and it's very clear how we can just create from nothing. We're all creators, right? But if you don't believe,
Well, you can't believe in something you've never done. You can't believe in something you've never done. So you have to get the experience of doing it, thus the dreaming room. Now, by the way, about the heroes, the veterans, the heroes you're speaking about and to as well. Understand this story is palpably important for every single one of them, coming from the military, coming out in the street and trying to create a new world for themselves. They have to join us in the dreaming room. Every single one of those heroes have to join us in the dreaming room to truly awaken the new entrepreneur within themselves, to begin to selectively decide, so who do I wish to be? What do I wish to create? What kind of work do I wish to do? And in the process of doing that, something spectacular is going to occur for each and every one of them as well. So we're speaking to the trades, and we're speaking to your heroes. We're speaking to your family. We're speaking to your friends. We're speaking to every man and every woman. I just celebrated my 85th birthday.
Woohoo!
And I'm determined over the next 5 years to realize this transformation to a degree we've never done in the past half century. And you're going to do it with us, Francis. I can absolutely tell that as I speak to you.
I'm in. Where do I sign up?
You got it. You got it. Absolutely.
Michael, so I just want to say thank you. I think this is a great way to wrap up this conversation. It was deep, it was profound, it was inspiring. I'm hyped up. I got lots of energy from you. I don't know how you do it, but thank you. Thank you for your energy and your contribution to the world, to small business, on behalf of Help for Heroes, on behalf of trades. You have a very loving fan base in the UK, that's for sure. Is there anything you'd like to sign off on?
Thank you for the time. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the gift of your intelligence, of your passion. Thank you for your responsiveness to the story that I've begun to share with you. And I know just by feeling your feeling associated with Help for Heroes, that effectively we're going to have a profound impact on countless thousands of people wherever you are and wherever your company is determined to grow. We're going to do that. We'll do that together. I can make that promise to you.
Let's do it. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate your time. Have a great day, and to your success.
Thank you, Francis. Take care. Bye-bye.